Yeah, hi there. These comments are for AA, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to your pronunciation post-test. You're also one of my students at California State University, San Bernardino, and you completed the pronunciation post-test or final exam in our TOEFL preparation class. And if I remember correctly, you're reading 3 specific paragraphs and answering 3 questions.
When two people are talking to each other, they tend to stand a specific distance apart.
Okay, a specific distance apart, right? So they also, when you're reading sentences, try to blend together certain sounds within thought groups. For example, you might say they tend to stand a specific distance apart. So you don't want to pause. You do not want to pause after any of those words there.
Each person has a visible boundary around his or her body into which other people may not come.
So when you're reading, you're saying into which other people may not come. But that's not the sentence rhythm that we use in English. We'll say into which other people may not come. So you have to work a little bit more on your rhythm also.
If someone braces this boundary, she or he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them. The major exception is family members and other loved ones. This personal distance is not due to body odor or bad breath, but because closeness lends of
you want to say there bad breath, and then lends a sense of intimacy.
Intimacy that is at
No, that is at odds. That is at odds. So again, blending. Take the T, blend it to the first sound of the next word. That is at odds
with a relationship to the other individual. I will read the reading passage too. Interestingly, the average personal distance varies from culture to culture. Americans tend to require more personal space than another culture. Therefore, if you try to get too close to an American,
you have cultures. You want to pronounce this S as a Z because it comes after a vowel.
During your conversation, he or she will feel that you are in his face and will try back away.
We'll try to back away. Don't forget the to. We'll try to back away.
To try to be aware of this.
And say not try, but try. Try to be aware of this.
So, if the person to whom you are speaking backs away.
No, it's backs away a little. You want to take backs away, combine those together. That's called blending.
A little, don't try to close the gap.
All right.
Now I will read reading passage 3.
Okay, thank you.
Also, try to avoid physical contact while you are.
Usually we'll say here, contact. We're using this one as a noun, so put stress on the first syllable, not the second.
Speaking, since this may also lead to discomfort. Touching is a bit too intimate for
we want to say intimate. Touching is a bit too intimate.
Casual acquaintance. So.
Now wait a minute. Casual acquaintances. Don't forget that ES at the end. You need another syllable. So acquaintances. That's 4 syllables, not 3.
Don't put your arm around his or her shoulder. Don't touch his or her face or hold his or her hand. Shaking hands when you initially meet our part is acceptable, but this is only momentary.
Okay.
Now I will answer the first question.
All right.
My best friend is Abdul. He is from Saudi Arabia. He was my high school classmate because we went through 3 years together and we know each other for her hand. Shaking hands when you initially meet our part is acceptable, but this is only best friend is Abdul. He is from Saudi Arabia.
I would say my best friend is Abdul, who is from Saudi Arabia. So if you put who there, you're combining the two sentences together. You're using an adjective clause. You're showing that you have more advanced type speaking abilities.
Saudi Arabia. He was my high school classmate because we went through 3 years together, and we know each other very well.
Now you're using a very simplistic speaking style. You're using short, simple sentences, 1, 2, 3. But for academic speaking and for overall fluency, you probably want to do a little bit better than that. Check out my grammar lesson number 1, which will show you how to use more what we call better sentence variety in both your speaking and your writing.
When we were preparing for our graduation,
say preparing, put more air on that P. When we were preparing, not when we were preparing, but preparing.
Exams. We were starting together and help each other a lot.
I would say we started together and we helped, helped each other a lot.
I see myself after 5 years in my country, which is Saudi Arabia, to find a good job. If I don't find, I will come back to United States to do my master degree.
I will come back.
Okay. Hopefully, when I finish my master degree, I will be able to find a good job in my country with my family.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully you will be able to do that. Getting a master's degree is going to be very helpful for you.
My favorite season is fall because the weather cools down and usually the leaves turn gold. Looks good to me. And there is an important festival in fall in my country. We call it Eid al-Adha. In that day, the whole family will be together and we visit our relatives.
Okay, so now let's take a look at your overall score. Let me go to the rubrics here. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about is your grammar. Your grammar is very, very simple. So you really want to make some improvements in that area. It's not that you're speaking grammatically correct all the time, pretty much most of the time, but you're using very basic grammar. Okay, let me click on the link to the intelligibility scores here. We can see this. Okay, so remember that this is my intelligibility and speaking rubrics I use to evaluate your speaking and your pronunciation. I'm going to put you in the 3 range. I think you do need to make some improvements. And you can click on the link also to learn more about your speaking score. But basically, you're speaking in a monotone. You're pausing after almost every word. You're not using any blending at all. So you do have some accent and pronunciation variations which are distracting, but they don't usually prevent understanding. Now, also, I could have scored you probably in the 2 area, but I'm going to go ahead and give you 3. But student uses complex sentences. I'm going to say no. You're not really using complex sentences. You're actually using mostly basic, simple type sentences in your speaking. So I see that you should make some improvements in that area as well. Okay, what do? Let's go to the pronunciation area first. I'm going to give you some suggestions. So overall, your score is going to be 3.4 out of 7. And just briefly, if you take a look at the listening and speaking rubrics, let's take... Where is it? Okay, here we go. So I gave you a score of 3.4. So that's going to put you at 86% on this particular assignment. Now let's take a look at some lessons I think you can focus on to help you get better here. In pronunciation, notice, you remember the word acquaintance, acquaintances? So syllable division and grammatical word endings, I think you can practice. That's lessons number 26, 27, and 28. You also have some word stress issues. Remember contact, contact. So word stress lessons number 29, 30, 31, and 32. Also, you can focus and improve, I think, in your sentence rhythm, lesson number 33, 34, and 35. And you also need practice with your intonation, and that's lessons number 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And you can also practice especially with your thought groups and blending, lessons number 41, 42, 43, and 44. Now, like I said before, your grammar is a little bit basic. So let's go to the grammar section. I do have a lesson I think that will help you in that area. This one, sentence variety, lesson number 1. Take a look at that lesson and also do the sentence variety practice exercises. That's grammar lesson number 1.2. Alrighty. Anyway, thank you very much for completing the pronunciation post-test. You have an intelligibility score now. You know some things that you can work on in order to get better. You got two choices. You can do nothing and you can stay the same, or you can follow my suggestions and begin speaking more clearly and with more advanced type sentence structures. All right, have a great day. And thank you for being a great student in my TOEFL class.